What is going on, everybody? So today we're going to talk about some Sword and Shield booster boxes. I did the spreadsheet update for this week, and there are a couple things that I want to talk about. And then also, if you guys care about the One Piece stuff, I'm in the middle of doing it. It'll be done later today. Actually, most of it is done, but some of the more important sets we'll get to later. So starting off this video, we're going to talk about Sword and Shield base. And I don't think this box is going to go crazy. I don't see it jumping up to like $750 anytime soon. But when I was looking at the North American data, there are no boxes listed currently below $550 USD on the open market. And they're still selling like 3 to 4 per week. Buy it now. And there's probably a couple auctions in there. So you're close to one sale per day. I think last time we talked about this box, I said it was for all intents and purposes a $500 box. I still think that's the case. It could even rise to $550. We're seeing sales a little bit below $550 on average, right? The buy it nows that are actually going, but lowest listed is around that price right now. So if someone wants to buy a box, they're probably going to have to pay that. Rebel Clash as well. I mean, this box isn't going crazy, but I think there was only 6 or 7 boxes listed below like $375, $380. So this box could get fairly close to $400. Might even get there by the end of the year. I mean, Rebel Clash, a terrible set. There is nothing in this. It was nicknamed Rebel Trash. And there was obviously better places to put your money over the past 12 to 18 months. But if you still bought Rebel Clash, you're doing quite well. And I'm sure that you're happy. You at least have some exposure to Pokemon booster boxes. And outside of these two, I mean, Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage, we did just start tracking those in the spreadsheet. Darkness is kind of in a spot where I think it's going to continue to climb. Might hit $300 by the end of the year. That would not surprise me, but I don't think it's going to happen overnight. It's probably going to take another 4 to 6 months in order for it to actually get there. Vivid Voltage, like Shining Fates, there's still a ton of supply on the market. It's not a great set. I mean, Darkness and Rebel aren't either. Even Sword and Shield base isn't, but there's a lot less supply on the market for those sets compared to Vivid Voltage. So I would not expect Vivid Voltage to be making a jump up to like 250, 260 anytime soon. Now, outside of those, I do want to talk about a couple of the bigger alt art sets. So Fusion Strike has actually come down into like the mid 700-ish range, but it's still in an area. And I think part of this has to do with there just being less boxes captured in our like 20% leg up, just because the box price has come down. It's still in a range where it could reach $800 again fairly quickly. And at least this week in North America, there were a lot more sales. I mean, the sell-through rate on basically every alt art set from Chilling Reign onwards was up. Fusion Strike was up quite high. I mean, it wasn't the highest by any means, but it was up there. Lost Origin, I believe, was the second highest sell-through rate, and this was almost like 4 boxes buy it now per day over the past week. This is another box where it could make a move fairly soon. I don't think it's going to happen in the next couple weeks, but maybe in a month or two we see this box get back to like $550, $560. And this is kind of what I wanted to talk about today, because Lost Origin was selling at almost 4 boxes per day. And something that you hear from a lot of YouTubers and people in this space is that as a box gets more expensive, it becomes more difficult to sell. And on top of that, as a box becomes more expensive, it's less likely to double in value compared to something that's cheaper. And both of those just are not always true. And it really frustrates me because people say this and everyone who listens to them just takes it as gospel. And it's something I push back on for the longest time, because if you actually go look at the sell-through rate of some of these boxes on eBay, I mean, TCG Player is a completely different market, but eBay, you get a ton of data. And what I'm seeing, right, and you can go look for yourselves, go look at eBay North American sales over the past 7 days, 14 days, month, 2 months, however far back you actually want to go, and look at the sell-through rate and average daily solds for a box like Lost Origin, or an even better example, Evolving Skies at over 14x MSRP. Go look at the sell-through rate of these boxes and compare it to something like a Rebel Clash, like a Sword and Shield base, like a Battle Styles or a Chilling Reign. And I know most people aren't actually going to do that, so I'll give you the spoiler. The more desirable boxes like Lost Origin, like Evolving Skies, sell at a much faster rate compared to things like Chilling Reign, like Rebel Clash, like Sword and Shield base. And it's not by a small margin either. I mean, Evolving Skies over the past couple weeks has been selling at twice the rate, if not 3 times the rate of some of these boxes like Rebel Clash, like Sword and Shield Base, Chilling Reign, Battle Styles. And this really just speaks volumes to how strong of a set Evolving Skies is. And you guys, you know what's crazy is 6 months ago, you could buy Evolving Skies for about $1,000 a box. You know, I'm super happy. I bought a box for about $950 Canadian last June or July. I'm really glad I did that. Obviously, I wish I bought more boxes when they were way cheaper, but it is what it is. Either way, I still think that this box has tons of room to grow. And as ridiculous and shilly as this sounds, I would not be surprised if this reaches $3,000 at this point by the end of the year. And again, you guys can do whatever you want with your own investments, but I feel that most people, whether you own loose packs of Evolving Skies, sleeve packs, build and battle kits, stadiums, ETBs, PCTBs, booster boxes, whatever, I feel that you're going to regret getting rid of your Evolving Skies now when we look back at this in a couple years and just see where the price is. And again, that's just my opinion. So if you guys disagree, let me know in the comments down below what you think. But it really does seem a lot of people entering the market or who have spent time in the market are going back and focusing on these stronger Sword and Shield sets, Sun and Moon sets, even XY sets. I mean, Ancient Origins has popped off this year. Phantom Forces, we've seen insane growth on as well. So it really just seems like people are maybe uncertain about some of the newer Scarlet and Violet stuff, what's going to happen over the next 12 to 24 months. And they're going back and looking at older stuff, looking at it as more reliable. We're not going to get more on the market. And the sets, in reality, are just very strong, right? Like Cosmic Eclipse is a super strong set. Team Up's a very strong set. Ancient Origins is a fairly strong set. Evolving Skies is probably the best set we've got in the past 10 years. So people really are looking at these booster boxes and booster box cases as a safe place to put their money. Again, if you guys care about the One Piece data, it will be done by the end of the day. I'll try and get it done as soon as possible. And some of these sets are moving downwards, and I think there's actually some opportunities. We've seen restocks of OP05, Awakening of the New Era booster boxes at some of the Bandai stores, and that's really brought the price down on TCG Player. So if you're looking to get into One Piece, I think OP05 right now, there's some decent opportunity there. Some of these other sets as well. I mean, Two Legends has moved from like $90 up to around $107 at this point. EBO2 that has the Gear 2 Luffy and some of these other great cards has held strong in the 170s, and now it's pushing back up towards $180. I don't think that's going to slow down anytime soon. But that's really all I wanted to cover today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you're having a great week. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.